begging your pardon. I'm not quite 100. I just inherited very wrinkly skin.
The question, where did you keep those filthy Jews?
We didn't have any.
Liar!
A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. So marry me, darling, tonight.
Prepare to be dishonored.
Back in the day, we never really had a structured program. We didn't have something that was definite and laid out like it is today. We just wanted our kids to be exposed to good drama, to performing, to practicing. So one of our biggest obstacles has been not having a facility. And in the early days, we used to have to borrow a church's facility or rent a gym. And it was always difficult to put on performances and to really highlight our kids in a dramatic way.
During play practices and leading up to the play, I just really fell in love with acting. It really showed me a whole new side of myself that I hadn't seen before. Even though my friends and family would call me a character, I had never really seen it. I really fell in love with acting, and that's all thanks to the MCA drama department.
Not only has it helped me become a better actor and a better speaker, but it has also helped me in my walk with Christ.
I started participating in MCA drama when I was in 7th grade. It wasn't exactly by choice, but after that first monologue, I was hooked. I fell in love with acting. It easily became the most influential part of my high school experience.
I mean, I remember very well being pushed out of my comfort zone. This idea that you have to be challenged, that at the time, we couldn't just grab someone else to play the part. You were the only person for the part. And that was what allowed us to be pushed and allowed us to find out where our talents were and allowed us to figure out so much about ourselves.
The drama department has developed most in the number of people that we're incorporating in our plays now. When I first came to MCA in 2011, we had about 15 people that were involved in a play, a dinner theater once a year. And since that time, we've begun having introduction to drama class with 7th and 8th grade and developing our actors over the years. So now we have 2 plays a year. We have a junior high production, which incorporates anywhere from 20 to 30 kids. And then we have a senior high production, which incorporates almost the same number of kids.
When I first started writing plays for our dinner theater, I essentially had to typecast every character because there was almost no interest, it seemed, in committing that much time to something like drama. At the beginning, it was mandatory to participate. But now, when I'm writing them, I don't even know who is going to play what part. I'm writing parts for anyone, just knowing that the students are going to become the characters that they need to be. There's so much interest that sometimes I'm having to write extra parts after I think the play is done, just so that everyone can get a chance to participate that year.
The new facility has been a huge blessing for us because we've been able to practice how we're going to perform. We don't have to practice in a small classroom, smush our blocking, and speak quietly because there's other classes happening. We can expand our blocking, practice how we're going to walk around, and we can yell and make sure we're as loud as we need to be for the people in the back to hear us.
The new facility has changed our drama department by making everything much more convenient. I'm in charge of props and costumes. We would have to haul everything to another facility. We'd have to rent that facility, set up over there, so a lot of set up and tear down that we don't have to deal with now.
In the past, we would have 1 or 2 people that were really interested and really wanted to be a part of the play. And then as it's progressed, it's now shifted to majority of the students in the high school want to participate. They want to come to auditions. And we have auditions now to accommodate the amount of participation that we're getting from students.
9 years ago, when we did our first dinner theater, it was a big production for such a small school. We enjoyed every aspect of it, from the practices to the performance itself, and none of us could believe that something that large scale had just come out of this school. But at the same time, in that performance and in the few years after that, it was obvious that we were limiting ourselves.
One big problem I find is our problem with the lights, because over the years we've had those lights for a long time, and it's just they're really beaten down and they shake a lot whenever someone just steps on the wire. It really takes time out of us rehearsing to better ourselves with a bunch of students going up there and trying to angle the light right.
One way the lighting has been a hindrance is we have to set them up in the middle of the audience, which is kind of awkward for everybody, in the way of them, and sometimes we even have to manually move the lights to get a better lighting position or connect them to this tiny little box that always shorts out and always almost never works.
I remember when the light, for a while we used those orange construction lights. We used those for our stage lights and put like aluminum foil around it to like aim the lights, and unplugged it if it was a set change or something like that. It definitely added another element to a performance and another part to try to manage that probably most people don't deal with.
Currently, our light sets are catastrophic in that they are the light boxes themselves are old, mishandled, and they have a lot of issues inside them. We've had a lot of plays where lights will go out, or they'll flicker, or burn out. They're literally a fire hazard. Not something you want in your building, let alone during the middle of a play. There are going to be issues from now on until we find something that is permanent.
We've had the same lighting for I don't know how long, ever since I was little. It's kind of on its last limb. I remember struggling with it in our fine arts banquet. We had to work around the lighting because some lights didn't work right. We had to actually change our script. We actually had to change the way we acted in order to get good lighting.
When we have the stage lights like right on stage, it kind of takes away that feel that you're watching a play. It's like comes back to reality, like, oh, I'm just watching it. I don't feel like I'm actually connected with this.
Because of the ethereal nature of this year's play, good lighting is essential. The main motif in this play is the moon, and so most of our scenes depend on special effect lighting. So where in the past we've incorporated sound effects or audio-visual effects, and they've been really effective to enhance the message, this year lighting will be the thing that enhances the message.
So how can you help?
Specifically, our needs are that we need an electrician who has theater experience to know how to install our lights. We also need a technician that can help that electrician connect all the lights together with the control board. And then lastly, we really need the funds to purchase cabling and other equipment that's necessary to make our lights function. If you could be a part of any of those things, will you please help us to accomplish this project?
Our students pour their time, their energy, their hearts into these performances. And this year, for the first time, we would love for them to know that when they set foot on the stage for the big night, that when the lights come up, the lights will stay up. Would you consider helping us?
Will you consider partnering with us?
Please?
Will you please
be a part of this project?